I'm Chika Eloy, and this is a conversation designed for BCD people with BCD people. On this show, we're running through the diverse cultures of talent at BCD Travel, and we're showcasing our most confident self-colleagues. So come on, let's go have some fun as we explore the different functions, spaces, faces, and the complexities across our world of BCD.
Well, this week we are stepping into one of the spiciest episodes that we've ever had on A World of BCD. And I say that in jest as we are joined by our guest this week, Mr. Pandurangan, coming all the way from SSC Bangalore. Welcome to the show, Illa.
Thank you, Chika.
Illa, we have been waiting to speak to one of our colleagues down in the SSC in Bangalore. So let me just give you the microphone and let us hear your story and journey to BCD so far.
Well, it's been 7+ years, and I must say it's a great journey of transformation from knowing very little to realizing that there's a lot more to know and grow. I must say it's a mixture of different experiences with loads of scope to learn and get better at what I do.
And what is your current role?
Well, I'm designated as a senior team lead. I manage day-to-day operations for the most biggest account, which is the most sensitive as well in the center. So pretty exciting.
That's good. And without naming any names, I think that starts with a D, that account, right? So I think we all know what that account is there in the SSC. When you say that you've been around for 7 years, have you been in this role and have you been, at the same desk for 7 years, or have you moved around in that operation?
No, very good question, Chika. So I'm really proud to say I started here as an agent in the central ticketing team. And then I am somebody who's keen to learn newer things. So I was given opportunities to move around to different teams. I think I touch based around almost all teams in the center except for EMEA part of the region, and then here I am as a senior team lead now.
We have all heard about the famous SSC in Bangalore, and we've actually had a couple of episodes of podcasts where we've spoken to Esther in Costa Rica, and we've also spoken to Brigitte in Barcelona. What's the difference between your SSC and their SSC? Or do you all work in tandem and bounce between? How does that work?
I mean, SSCs almost do the same kind of job, very similar kind of job. But one thing that I would say about the Bangalore office is it's more lively and happening than any other offices across the world.
Whoa. I don't think that you're biased at all.
So why I say this place is very lively and happening is because this has a very diversified culture here, meaning there are different cultures under one roof. We all have different languages, but when we step into the door of the office, we all speak English and we all are sons of one mother. So that's how we work. That's how we enjoy work here. So every time a festive season comes, irrespective of which religion it is, caste, creed, we all celebrate it together. So that's the most fun part of being in the SSC Bangalore as per me.
What does SSC stand for, and what does it mean?
SSC stands for Shared Services Center.
And when it comes to actually the work that you do at the SSC, Illa, what maybe you can explain to us, is it just people from our certain accounts call the special number and it gets routed to you, and then you pick up the phone and help serve our customers? Could you go into the details as to how like a call like that may work?
So Chika, interesting question here. So we just do not take calls. We have a totally different atmosphere here. We take calls for different accounts. We do mid-office jobs. We do back-office jobs. We do ticketing jobs. So there are numerous accounts which we deal with, and every account has its own scope in the center here. So we do a wide range of business in the SSC, starting from taking calls to invoicing, to issuing tickets, to booking car services, booking hotels, so on and so forth.
The other piece that I know that culturally across the world we've always been curious, or at least the people I run into are very curious as to the hours that you work. Currently in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm sitting today, it is 12:30 in the afternoon. if it's 12:30 in the afternoon, what time is it with you, Illa? And what part of the day is it? Are you at breakfast, lunch, or dinner type thing?
To be very precise, it's 9:57 p.m. here in India, and it's dinner time for those of them who work the morning shift. It's lunchtime for those of them who work the evening shift. So we do different kind of shifts, and it's a 24 bar 7 coverage
Oh my
of
goodness.
operations here.
So what shift are you on, the morning or the afternoon?
I'm doing the evening shift.
So
It's
it's
lunch for me
lunchtime
now.
for you. Oh my goodness. So I think that all of our listeners here would pause and say, so if it's lunchtime at 10 o'clock at night, how do you and how do all of the colleagues that you work with at an SSC that are running these types of shifts, how do you maintain a work-life balance? Because, BCD runs around and we flash these awards saying that we're an employer of choice and that we have great work-life balance. How do you perceive that to be when you're having lunch at 10 p.m. at night with your family, etc.?
Achika, we often tend to forget that BC is our second family. So when we step into the office, it doesn't really feel like we are at work. So colleagues around are very warm and welcoming. So we don't really feel like we do not have or we do not strike the right work-life balance. We definitely do. But otherwise, weekends are always there for us to have that fun with mom, dad, sis, brother, extra.
So you would be
So
getting home then around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and then heading to bed.
exactly.
Woo,
Yes.
woo, that's incredible. And so I guess really weekends is time that you can focus on your family and because they would be going to their work, I'm sure, when you're waking up or sleeping.
True that. True that.
Oh my gosh, that's such a mind shift, and I'm sure many of the listeners around the world too say, "Wow, I wonder if I could do that." I'm not sure if I could. So kudos to you and the team out there that does such a great job in manning the phones 24/7.
Thank you, Chica.
Maybe this is a great follow-up question, Illa. If you were not at BCD, if you were not working the night shift, what would your dream job be?
Chica, this is the most interesting question somebody could ask me. Well, I would say that I was very passionate to become a pilot of the Indian Air Force. I did try my best to hold a commercial pilot license, but however, I still managed to get a private pilot license. So if somebody really asks me, you wanted to become a pilot and what are you doing at BCD? So I used to tell them that, as and when I joined BCD as an agent, I was issuing tickets for central ticketing. So I used to tell them that I wanted to become a driver, but fortunately I've become a conductor.
Oh my
Coincidences
goodness,
still.
that's awesome. So you physically hold a license to be a pilot right now?
Yes. Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. As we come back to the office, Illa, here, from a strategic standpoint, we hear the words innovation and digital transformation. I've even heard things like chatbox and, moving into the future, will BCD be the same? What's your perception of that when you look around your workforce at the SSC?
Well, Chica, I don't really think that BCD is going to be the same with technology booming at this rapid speed. I foresee that technology will take over humans and humans will have very less value add to the company. So that's the only thing that I fear. Because in the current lifestyle with the work, what I see is everybody wants to automate things. Everybody
Right,
wants to simplify things and
right.
go ahead. So the workforce is going to be minimized and technology is going to be increased, which is going to be very, very good for the organization. But for an organization that values people, I do think that human touch is definitely going to be a magic than technology would do. So that's my say on it.
And I'm sure that yourself, myself, and all of the listeners have interactions in their real lives where without people we couldn't function. So I understand the fear, I truly do, and I'm sure it's a lot more visceral for you because you're there on the floor looking around at the workforce and thinking forward. Will this be existing here in 5, 10 years? We don't know. But at the same time, completely understand that comment that without the human touch, that magic disappears too. Oh, oh, you give me goosebumps. It's an interesting perspective because we do have a lot of great people working for us, and to think that any, even myself, could be replaced scares the robot out of me. So, Illa, as we turn the corner and we want to, in your terms, land the plane, being the pilot that you are, knowing that you've been in the office there for a few years, what has been some secrets to your success?
Truly not running behind success. I would say expect very less and express more of yourself. Success will by self find its way to you if you're passionate and really focused.
Wow, that's an interesting mindset. That the idea that you don't expect, or expect less, should I say?
Expect less and express yourself more.
And so, what does that mean for you, Illa? Express yourself more. Does that mean just be you bigger? Because what if I'm an introvert? I got a lot of questions around that.
So when I say express more, there is, yeah, for introverts especially, they have a fear of breaking the shell and showing who they are or being themselves. So you really need not be bothered about what the world thinks about you. So you have to be yourself and express what you feel inside you. And that's the simple way to change your can'ts into cans and your dreams into plans. Yeah.
My goodness. I feel like I'm at a really positive thinking seminar right now. That's impressive, Illa. It's awesome. My question is, and this is a discussion that I'd love to have, when you say that introverts need to show more of who they are because they're scared, are introverts always scared of what other people think of them?
Yes, I was an introvert myself. I really fear about talking what I feel. But then I understood that the confidence is all about talking your heart out. So no matter who sits in front of you, you are the person you are. So talk straight and talk you feel is right for you.
I like it. And what does the confident self mean for you when it comes to that phrase?
Confident self is everything for a human being, be it in his personal life or in his professional life. I would say without confidence, you will not be able to achieve what your mind conceives. So if you really want to achieve what your mind conceives, you have to be confident on yourself. So when I say expect less, there is a lot of expectations, be it an agent, be it a team lead or the manager. They keep expecting things from the organization as to what the organization does for them.
Like what? Like what?
They keep expecting positions, they keep expecting salary hikes, they keep expecting that they be valued each and every day, everywhere. So this is really too much of an expectation that they keep doing. So instead of wasting time on expecting a lot, I would say express yourself more. Then people will automatically give you what you deserve.
So clear. So instead of just wishing, go out there and do. Put your money where your mouth is, and instead of asking for it, go and just do it, and it'll come to you.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Illa, for sharing with us your heart, for sharing with us your brain, as well as for sharing with us some of your future thoughts towards what BCD is going to look like in SSE Bangalore in the future. As we move forward, can we close this out my favorite way, which is asking you 5 random questions, and you give me 5 random answers as quick as possible.
Excited. Go ahead.
All right, Illa. So if you and I are standing next to each other right now, we have a bar above us, and I say the word pull-ups. How many pull-ups could you do in a row right now, non-stop?
25.
Wow, 25. Awesome. Question number 2, Illa. What is the favorite food of yours that we should try if we ever visit India?
Biryani.
What is that?
If you're a non-vegetarian, it's rice cooked very well with the meat of your wish. It can be either chicken or mutton or prawn or fish. So I'm sure you will enjoy the spice and the way it's made.
Lovely. What is mutton, for those of us who don't know what mutton is?
Lamb.
Lamb. Bah, I love it. All right. Speaking of lamb, have you ever seen a reindeer in real life?
No.
Okay. How many languages do you speak?
5.
And they would be?
English, Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, and Telugu.
You are so impressive. And finally, it wouldn't be an Indian question unless I asked you this. Who is your current favorite cricket player?
Dhoni.
Dhoni. We all love him. And as we close out every single podcast, scoring 100 runs, holding up the bat for a century, Illa, what is your favorite piece about working at BCD? What do you love most about being in this place?
The freedom that we've given here, it's absolutely amazing. You have your own thought flow, and you have no fear of expressing it, and it's welcomed very warmly. And that's what I like the most about working with BCD.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast this week, Ella.
Thank you, Chika. My pleasure.
And to all of our listeners out there, this is our 20th episode, which means there are probably 19 other episodes that you are yet to share with your colleagues, which means that you've got the opportunity right now to help us educate them on what we do at BCD.